What if I told you that the greatest danger to our society isn't malice or evil or greed? What if I told you the single most destructive force in the modern world is stupidity? Now, I don't mean a lack of intelligence. I don't mean someone who can't solve a math problem. I'm talking about a different kind of stupidity, a chosen stupidity. You've encountered it. You've argued with it online. That person who is completely immune to facts, who is deaf to logic, whose arguments are a tangled mess of slogans and circular reasoning. It feels like arguing with a brick wall. And you walk away frustrated thinking, how can anyone be that dense? We have been diagnosing this problem completely wrong. And the most terrifying and brilliant explanation for this phenomenon doesn't come from a modern psychologist. It comes from a German theologian named Dietrich Bonhoeffer, who wrote his theory while sitting in a Nazi prison cell, trying to understand how his country, a nation of poets and thinkers, could descend into madness. His conclusion was chilling. He said that stupidity is a more dangerous enemy of the good than malice. Because while you can protest evil, you can expose it, you can fight it with force, against stupidity, we are defenseless. Reasons fall on deaf ears. Facts that contradict a stupid person's prejudgment are simply disbelieved. And when the stupid person is contradicted, they become irritated and aggressive. But here is Bonhoeffer's masterstroke. He realized stupidity is not an intellectual defect. It is a moral one. There are people of high intelligence who are stupid, and people of low intelligence who are not. Stupidity, he said, is a sociological problem. It is a disease that is activated in a person when they join a group. It's what happens when a person surrenders their inner independence and fuses with the collective. The power of the group, the political party, the online mob infects them. They stop thinking for themselves. They just repeat the talking points. Their mind is no longer their own. It has been outsourced. They become a mindless instrument, capable of any evil, yet still convinced they are on the side of good. Does this sound familiar? Social media echo chambers, political rallies, the mindless chanting of slogans you don't fully understand. Bonhoeffer saw the blueprint for our modern crisis from a prison cell 70 years ago. But 1400 years before Bonhoeffer, the Quran gave us the diagnosis for this exact spiritual disease. The Quran has a word for it. It's not stupidity. It's ghafla, heedlessness, the state of being asleep while you're awake, the state of having all your faculties but failing to use them to see the truth. Allah describes these people perfectly. They have hearts with which they do not understand. They have eyes with which they do not see. And they have ears with which they do not hear. Those are like livestock. Nay, they are even more astray. It is they who are the heedless. Notice Allah doesn't say they don't have hearts or eyes or ears. They have them. The hardware is working. But they have chosen not to use them for their true purpose, to perceive reality and submit to the truth. They have surrendered their independent thought, not to a political party, but to their own ego, their desires, and the whispers of shaitan. Their hearts have become sealed, not because Allah is unfair, but because they repeatedly chose the comfort of their own biases over the difficult, humbling path of truth. This is the state of chosen stupidity. It is not an absence of information. It is a surplus of arrogance. So how do we vaccinate ourselves against this plague? How do we ensure our hearts never become sealed? It requires a conscious, daily act of intellectual and spiritual humility. I want you to perform a personal humility audit. Tonight, before you sleep, ask yourself 3 questions with brutal honesty. 1. What is a strong belief I hold that I have never seriously tried to find evidence against? Go look for the best arguments against your own position. If your belief is true, it will survive the scrutiny. If it's weak, it's better you find that out yourself. 2. When I consume information online, am I looking for the truth? Or am I just looking for confirmation of what I already believe? Am I seeking to understand or just to feel righteous? And 3, when was the last time I changed my mind about something important? If the answer is never or a long time ago, it's a warning sign. It's a sign that your mind is closing, that you're becoming rigid. A living faith is a thinking faith. Stupidity, in its most dangerous form, is not a lack of intelligence. It is a lack of courage. The courage to be uncertain. The courage to say, I was wrong. The courage to think for yourself when the entire crowd is chanting the same slogan. The ultimate protection against this disease is not a high IQ. It is a soft heart. A heart that is in a constant state of seeking, questioning, and turning to the only source of absolute truth, and to constantly make the dua of the truly intelligent, Rabbi zidni ilma, my Lord, increase me in knowledge.